But Beijing isn't only supportive of NIO.
We want to very much say thank you and appreciation for the Shanghai government and the support.
About 1 year after Tesla started building its gigafactory in Shanghai, it started delivering Model 3 sedans in China, far outpacing the sales of NIO vehicles.
We intend to continue making a significant investment and increasing the investment in China.
NIO is still playing catch-up.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, I'm sharing my thoughts and opinions on a recent Wall Street Journal video showcasing NIO, the Chinese electric vehicle maker's unique business model which centers around battery swap technology. I'll also share my thoughts around NIO stock and whether or not I see NIO as a legitimate competitor to Tesla in China and perhaps eventually globally. So let's get into the video. But first, hey guys, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. That is an obnoxiously good return on your investment. I mean, really, deposit $100 and you'll end up with, at minimum, $21 worth of stocks, a 21% ROI on your money. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
A little out of juice, only 42 kilometers range left. And that's why we need to come here.
When Jeff Shaw needs to get his car refueled,
师傅，你要来吗？
he doesn't go to a gas station, and not always one that charges electric vehicles. Instead, he goes to a battery swap station. In about 5 minutes, he can have his EV battery replaced with a fully charged one that has a driving range of up to 260 miles, more than enough for the 42-year-old's daily commute to work.
好了是吧？啊，好，谢谢啊。再见。And it's way faster than the gas station experience, I think. Let's go.
Shaw is driving a NIO, a rising star in China's electric vehicle market. Once on the brink of bankruptcy, the startup was bailed out by the government and has since seen its shares soar. At the end of 2020, NIO was worth more than General Motors, ranking as the world's 5th most valuable automaker.
The NIO stock has most definitely benefited from the Tesla ripple effect. In fact, looking at this chart of the top 5 automakers in the world by market capitalization, we can see 3 of these companies are electric vehicle makers, BYD, NIO and Tesla. And obviously the unit volumes from these companies, when you're talking about the others on this list like Toyota and Volkswagen, are nowhere close. But the stock markets have decided. They know that EVs are the future and they're giving enormous benefit of the doubt.
And that has a lot to do with its batteries.
就是车电分离，不光是技术上可以分离，产权上也应该能分离。
In other words, a NIO customer doesn't need to buy the vehicle with the battery, and so far it's the only automaker in China to do this. Many investors say NIO's commercial strategy is revolutionary, so as Tesla speeds ahead as the market leader in China, should it be worried?
Credit where it's due, NIO definitely does have a unique business model in terms of offering battery swaps to customers. Yet to see whether or not this is really viable over the long term. It's certainly unique. I admire NIO for taking this approach, but I still do have some questions about the technology and how viable it is over the long term, which I'll discuss in a moment.
The gas station's on the big screen, and there's the battery pack getting swapped out.
NIO isn't the first electric vehicle company to try switching out the battery.
You have the choice of a battery pack swap, which is faster than you can fill a gas tank.
In 2013, Tesla demoed its battery swap technology, and the following year built a trial swap station in California.
Voila!
Tesla later dropped the project, saying drivers weren't interested in swapping their batteries because the supercharging stations were fast enough.
Tesla's now cancelled battery swap technology is literally the only example I can think of where the company made a promise about something in the future and then walked it back. But of course, this wasn't a Nikola Trevor Milton-esque, haha, we're going to do this now, we're not just kidding, hey, please invest in our stock moment. This was more a matter of, hey, there's a technology, we plan on doing this, wait a minute, you don't want it? Oh, okay, well then we won't bother. Keep in mind, it was 2013. 8 years ago when Tesla first demonstrated the idea of battery swap technology. Since then, things have changed, battery capacities have increased, charging rates have also increased enormously, which makes it a little bit less convenient for a customer. Now I admit, if you can swap out a battery in a few minutes flat, that is awesome. But there's a little bit more to it than this, and there's a huge penalty for the company in actually offering this technology. This includes needing a much larger number of batteries available to swap out than there are vehicles on roads. Remember, batteries are the most expensive component inside a vehicle. So just imagine for every vehicle out on the road, you need an extra battery, extra half battery, an extra 2 batteries. I don't know what the number is. I'm not a genius at this stuff. The point is, to offer battery swap technology, you actually need to make way more batteries than you do vehicles. Just imagine being a company like Tesla, whose battery is cell constrained. They sell every vehicle they make, and the limiting factor on making more vehicles is getting more battery cells. Do you really want to limit the number of vehicles you have on roads because you're offering battery swap technology?
We'll be expanding the supercharger network quite substantially over time.
Despite Tesla pulling the plug on battery swaps, its Chinese rival NIO is moving ahead with the technology.
The concept of battery swapping is fairly straightforward. The actually implementing it and making a viable business out of it is quite a bit more complicated.
Sam Abiel-Samed is a car analyst who has been watching the EV industry for more than a decade.
Batteries are the single most expensive component in an electric vehicle. But the problem is batteries are also still in a rapid stage of development. And so to date, manufacturers have been reluctant to standardize anything.
This is a noteworthy point. I mean, we literally saw at Tesla's Battery Invest today a plan for them to halve their battery costs within the span of 2 years. Just imagine if this entire time Tesla was offering battery swap technology and had inventory of, say, an extra 1 million spare packs out there just in case customers wanted to swap. 2 years later, all of these packs practically worthless. This is a point really worth considering. Does it make sense at this stage for companies like NIO to even offer battery swap, knowing full well the battery cell technology is going to improve in leaps and bounds in the coming years, and in a few years' time they'll be able to make a better pack for half the price? I'm not really sold on this idea again. I like the business model, but when you think about all the pros and cons and how it affects the business, cash flow, capital expenditures, etc., I'm not so sure it makes a hell of a lot of sense. Another thing to consider is the fact that Tesla sells every vehicle they make without needing to offer this battery swap technology. So even though in theory it's a little bit more convenient and faster for customers, rather than pulling into a supercharger and charging for 20, 30 plus minutes, they can swap out a battery technically in 5 minutes. But if we're really being honest, probably closer to 10. When you go to a NIO battery swap station, it's not like you literally just drive your car up, park it, and your battery gets swapped. A technician, somebody actually needs to drive your car into the machine, so there's a little bit more dicking around than it might appear. But the point is this, Tesla doesn't need to offer battery swap technology, and from a business point of view over the long term, it's probably a fairly poor strategy because, as I said, the batteries in a few years' time will be practically worthless because the technology is evolving at such a fast pace. Then again, NIO is taking a slightly different approach to most other electric vehicle makers, including the NIO Life Lifestyle brand, which features all sorts of things, including collaborations with designers. You can buy handbags, clothing, food, and more. Although for anybody wondering, I don't think NIO sells Tesla short shorts.
But NIO is choosing to standardize the battery. So while most electric vehicles have battery packs that are uniquely designed for specific models and are built into the cars, NIO has one battery pack that fits into all its models. And this battery costs about $10,700. So that means NIO's cheapest model, which costs around $52,000, gets a 20% discount if buyers choose to skip the battery. The company said a third of its customers are buying cars without the battery.
Tesla and NIO, they have taken some different approaches to the business model. I think battery swapping would certainly make NIO very competitive to Tesla and to other companies.
For a flat fee of about $150 a month, NIO drivers can get 6 battery replacements at more than 160 battery swap stations across China.
When you drive these gasoline vehicles, their service come to the end or when the dealer delivers the car to you. But for NIO, it's a very different experience.
NIO drivers also have other battery options like charging at home or using an app to request a charging truck to show up. But its services and stations in China fall far short of what's needed to convince the world's largest EV market to uptake battery swap vehicles. Just compare the number of NIO's battery swap stations to Tesla's supercharging stations in the country, and the more than 2,000 stations it has worldwide. And this is where the government comes into play.
Battery swap now is getting more attention, right? Looking into the policy support behind it.
Zhu Gong is an auto consultant based in Shanghai. He says in the long run, government policy will likely determine how the EV industry in China develops. Beijing already has a 2035 goal for broad EV adoption in the country.
继续大力推进这种充换电基础设施的建设，进一步完善相关技术标准和管理政策。
Battery swapping is getting a push this year. For the first time, the technology was mentioned in China's annual policy blueprint. There's also a subsidy that seems designed to help NIO. Consumers who purchase battery swap vehicles with a minimum driving range of 250 miles can receive about $3,500 in subsidies. However, electric vehicles without battery swaps can only qualify if priced below $46,000. Tesla had to cut the price of its Model 3 in China by 10% to meet that threshold. This type of support has persuaded other Chinese automakers to signal that they too could adopt the technology. But Xu says it'll take a critical mass of automakers to commit before China runs on battery swaps.
What do you guys think about battery swap technology? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a sustainable business model? And do you think battery swap tech will be widely adopted within China and potentially the world or not? Let me know in the comments below.
You can think of it could be like a mobile or the Chevron type. They build the swapping station. They provide a different type of batteries, big size, small size, to fit into different vehicles.
Tesla Shanghai Gigafactory.
But Beijing isn't only supportive of NIO.
We want to very much say thank you and appreciation for the Shanghai government and the support.
About 1 year after Tesla started building its Gigafactory in Shanghai, it started delivering Model 3 sedans in China, far outpacing the sales of NIO vehicles.
We intend to continue making a significant investment and increasing the investment in China.
NIO is still playing catch-up, but Jeff Shaw is betting on the future of the Chinese startup. So much so that he bought shares of the company.
So here we're looking at a comparison between Tesla stock and NIO stock over the past 12 months. You guys will note for the first, let's say, 8 or so months of this period, the two stocks effectively tracked one another almost perfectly. This is not normal. Let me explain. NIO's execution has nothing whatsoever to do with Tesla's execution and vice versa. These stocks should not move together. Now, my theory here is that a lot of people saw Tesla stock going to the moon and thought, oh, well, NIO, like exactly the same company, they also make EVs. Obviously, it's going to perform exactly the same as Tesla. Who cares about the execution? No, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to invest in NIO because Tesla's gone up too much and I don't want to miss out on the next Tesla. In my opinion, Tesla is the next Tesla. We can see this chart has just gone absolutely ballistic in the last few months of this comparison. NIO enormously outperforming Tesla stock, practically twice the return over a 12-month period. Did NIO execute better than Tesla? Does their future look brighter than Tesla? Is this a little bit of catch-up? In my opinion, this predominantly comes down to FOMO. If we're being honest about it, the majority of people who've invested in NIO stock didn't do so because of NIO's performance and NIO's execution, but what Tesla and Tesla's stock has done. The mindset of most NIO investors isn't what a great company, what great leadership, what great engineers, what great technology. It's, oh shit, I missed out on all this growth in Tesla. Where's the next Tesla? I'll just invest in another electric vehicle company. They're all the same, right?
NIO is absolutely in the front line of state of art. It's more than a brand. It's more than a vehicle.
Hope you guys have found this video insightful. To sum up my personal thoughts around NIO, I wish them all the best. They certainly have a lot of potential but a huge amount of execution risk ahead of them. And the core point of difference in their business model, battery swap technology, I'm still not sold. Certainly it can provide additional convenience to some customers and it may also result in sales to some customers who otherwise wouldn't have purchased the vehicle because they couldn't quite afford to. But when you take the bird's eye view and really look at this business model and all of the implications, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The penalty you pay by having to have so many more battery packs available for people ready to swap out rather than having those packs in cars customers have purchased just doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a huge upfront capital investment, and because battery cells continue to improve in leaps and bounds and the technology is still early, a few years after you've built out your inventory of hundreds of thousands or millions of battery packs for swapping, they'll be practically worthless. Bit of food for thought. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.